Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Whoever is watching, or whoever watches now or later, hereafter. Life Puzzle Reality TV. Burhanuddin, this one's Burhanuddin channel. So, I'm rushing now. I'm a Russian. I'm an American Russian. Russian to work in London. And we have Hanlon is going to be helping us in the Life Puzzle shop in the Staples Market. So we got a chance today to get some support, to get someone to represent our product, peddle our Life Puzzles. We're not peddling it actually. We have a nice location. We're in a prime spot in a very busy tourist attraction, the Camden Town Staples Market, and we have a wonderful product. It's a really great thing. For you, my peers in Islam, you won't get me. I know it, and no one does actually. None of my peers do. Maybe I'm just a big nutcase, but I don't think so. I think there's a good, inshallah, higher method to my madness, to what appears. That appears to be madness. Inshallah, this time we're going to harness the power, mashallah, the barakah, inshallah, the blessings of those that we hope to be receiving the blessings from. And I will say, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Allah Azza wa Jalla, please forgive me that I don't speak Arabic and don't pronounce your blessed names correctly. But I do my best, inshallah. Forgive me, my best. If I'm not even doing my best, but I hope to do my best. So, we're rushing to get to the work today because we have Hanlon starting at 11 o'clock. And I did something funny on my way. I think it's funny. Rushing out the door because I can't afford for her to come and to not be ready for her, to teach her what she needs to know to represent the product. She's a quality, this lady. She's an English woman. I've seen her in action. She's good. She's a good salesperson. And I think if anybody besides myself can sell my product, it will be her. I think she can. There's a good chance she can do it. And so I'm going to invest a little cash in her today to pay for her, to teach her about the product and how to represent it, and inshallah, make with your dua, inshallah, we'll succeed. So, as I was rushing to the car in such a hurry to get there in time, my eyes are stinging, I'm tired, I was up all night with my wheels are turning, just really feeling inspired, lots of ideas, and I shared lots of things on the social media, especially tagging up my GoFundMe campaign to get some working capital, because we don't have enough financial resources to really set this business up properly. We had a wonderful opening. We had a wonderful opening. A brother invested a bit of money to get us started. Allah Azza wa Jalla bless that one. Who started the 50-50 company with me. He had 50-50 share in the company, got us started. But he's now gone home to his motherland, and he's transferred the shares of the company to me now. I'm 98% shareholder in this company. He's retained a token 2%, and so I'm doing it. I'm all on my own now. Got to do the administrative work, and at the moment, because we had 2 poor weeks of sales leading up to this Christmas season, and all the other vendors are saying the same thing. It's hard this time of year. Just got difficult. Didn't have the resources to continue to pay my employees to work with me either, to help me prep the product and get ready for the Christmas season. So I had to, my employees had to stop working because I can't pay them. I'm just barely getting by with the rent at the moment. We're just recovering from 3 weeks of absolutely no sales. We've been in this market for over a year now, and I consider myself quite successful because we haven't lost money. We've just been getting by, and I've been able to make improvements, expansion, buy groceries for my family, pay rent at home, and pay employees. So in the first year, and they say in the first 2 years you should expect to lose money. I moved into the market with just 2 glass cases and enough product to fill my display. And as soon as I began selling things, that would be it. There would be nothing for anyone to see or buy. So I asked the management to get into a unit, and they were happy with me and my product, and they quickly moved me into a unit. 3 weeks later, we got into a unit, and I had a proper place to work so I could start producing product. But I've been, I don't know if they were chasing my tail, maybe, is it an expression? It's very difficult for me to maintain this, the overhead of the unit. You produce enough product to sell it, to keep the rent paid, to support my family, and then try to also get ahead with product to stock the store up properly. Doing everything completely by myself, without assistance to help me do the work, which could do things for me that I don't need to be doing, because I didn't have the investment capital to pay them. So I've been getting by like this for over a year. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, La hawla wa quwwata illa billah. In London, it's remarkable. I think it's remarkable. It's clearly, obviously remarkable, but my peers in the Terika and the community, they don't know. They just see me and they don't know what to make of me. I'm strange to them. I'm strange to my peers in of non-religion, the people that meet me, that they see me, I'm a Western man. I've accepted Islam. That's strange to them. If I was to shave off my beard and dress in normal clothes like everybody else, I'd probably have a much easier time with the Westerners. But I don't believe I would have the same blessing, the same power and blessing that comes from keeping the sunnahs of the Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And so because I am getting by like this, I'm presenting myself as a hipster in the stables market, cutting pop culture, cutting my art form, this art form we call life puzzles, cutting it from pop culture and presenting myself as a if people don't know really, actually, they may think I'm a biker or something. They might be able to figure it out if they have a closer look, that I'm a religious hipster. But they're all right with that because I'm in Camden Town. I'm just another hipster, and I'm able to carry on and expose them to the spirituality of the Deen of Islam. But I'm not blatantly religious, and I don't care for religiosity. I like people that are truly ruhani. I think when I think to say ruhani, to me it means spiritual. I don't know if that's correct or not. I'm not Arabic speaking. Ruh means the spirit, yes? So ruhani, I like ruhani because that's someone who's really behaving from the spirit. And Maulana Sheikh Nazim said we should be asking to be Rabbani, which is Lord, belonging to our Lord. So I like Rabbani, I like ruhani. But religiosity, I do not practice religiosity. I do not practice religiosityism. I don't want to. I don't think it's attractive, and I don't think I'll be successful if I was to do that. So I'm trying to be creative. It's my hopes, my aspiration to be a scientist of the arts, to take these arts, to take everything, whatever I get a hold of, whatever little thought pops into my head, the pictures, the artwork that I'm cutting, the social multimedia, all these things, sharing them to my Facebook and etc. Just create a great big montage. It's kind of abstract. Not everything I have a clear vision as to what I'm up to when I'm sharing it. But something popped into my head, made me think, oh, this will be neat. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I'm just trying to throw it all together. And I'm not exercising too much restraint. I'm exercising a little bit. Try not to get carried away. in this creative process. But my business is called Life Puzzles. And what I believe that is, what this body of work is all the little pieces of this life puzzle. Because, mashallah, through this business, Life Puzzles, I came to the Deen of Islam. I met my brother Ismail Abdul Malik in California, and I was 19 years old, I think, 18, 19 years old when I met Miles, and just typical California kid, quite handsome, I must say, mashallah. Really, I'll show you a picture later, because I can say that now. I think I can say that now, because it's a remarkable part of the story. Being as handsome as I was, and accustomed to acting like just your typical California kid at 20 years old, I knew that, I believed that I was estranged. I like this Miles also likes this band Oasis. He says, how many special people change? How many lives are living strange? Where were you while we were getting high? You know, when I do a little art interpretation with the music. When I listen to music, I don't necessarily take everything in a song and say, oh, it's all divinely inspired. I just take what I want, and that's what I do with every aspect of this business called Life Puzzles. I take what I want, and I find inspiration in that. So this one, how many special people change? How many lives are living strange? Huh? I felt at that time at 20 years old I was living strange. I was estranged. I felt I was estranged. I knew something wasn't right. Even though I was successful, I had an art gallery in Northern California, hip little tourist town, working for a world-renowned department store. I knew something was, I wasn't actually, the world-renowned department store came later. That was a blessing that came from my trying to reach Mullah Sheikh Nazim, but that's a whole nother story. But I did have a little art gallery, and people treated me like a local celebrity. I was quite handsome. I was quite handsome. Could have girlfriends, no problem. Do things contrary to my taste. Good morning, sir.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good. I just saw you standing there, so I could grab you.
Cheers, man.
So I'm just wrapping up a little story here on my video blog. So I just I'm live on my video blog, so I'll just wrap that up. So where was I at? Yeah. So because of that business, Life Puzzles, this one I'm telling you about. I was working with my landlord, Miles Shelton. He's like myself, just born and raised in California, Redding, I think. He was an unusual man. He had a long beard. I thought when I met him, I thought he was a Jewish man, but he's not. He wasn't actually. He was a religious man. I knew that. I could tell that when I saw him. And he was. Well, never mind. Won't go into my initial take on him. But I was sick. I was sick and tired. I was young, 18 years old, coming off the street, and I really had a feeling of myself also. I was really down and out at the time because we didn't have any money. We were completely broke. And I wandered into his antique shop, and he's got this really nice antique psychiatrist couch. His father, by the way, was a psychiatrist. God bless his father, passed away, and Mr. Shelton. But anyways, I was feeling really ill also, physically ill, and I needed to just lay down. And I sit on his couch, and Miles being the way he is, and also being, you know, he has to sell that couch. You know, maybe I was even wet from the dripping rain. I don't know. I'm sure looking like a homeless man off the street. You know, of course he says to me, you know, if you want to buy the couch, then you can sit on it. Otherwise, you know, you don't sit on that couch. It was a nice piece of antiquity. So that was my first encounter with this man. But somehow, you know, destiny brought us together. I ended up renting my first shop, Life Puzzles, from him. He rented me a little space. I had a nice empty store with a very basic raw form example of what my product is now. It was nothing. It wasn't so great then, but I really believed in it, and he gave me a chance. I had an empty store, one little sample, and I made it work. But we shared the same space. We were up in this historic Union building in Grass Valley, California. It was old Union newspaper building. It was a great piece of architecture also in the gold country, famous for the California gold rush. And I had the left-hand side. There's a staircase came up with these 2-story glass windows that wrapped around each side. The staircase coming up the middle. I had the left window. Miles on his side with the Rubaiyat Antiques had and collectibles. Also had a lot of 60s psychedelia and vintage vinyl stuff as well. That's how I started to learn about that market. But we had our own stores with our own doors, but the ceilings were open, so we shared the same sound stage. I could hear him speaking every day about his belief, about his teacher. He's a follower of this Sufi master in Islam, and he was a Muslim. I didn't understand any of that, and I'll tell you, I was never had any thought to become a religious person. Being a California kid, I was never I could hear him speaking, but never tuned in consciously. But there was a point in my life where I decided that I was estranged. How many special people live estranged? How many lives, or how many special people are living strange? No, how many special people change? How many lives are living strange? Where were you while you were getting high? I knew I was estranged, and I wanted to seek the higher power. I did believe that there was a higher power in control of all things. I was willing to accept that idea. And so I called on that higher power. I made a prayer. I was making a prayer in my mind, in my heart. Maybe I was even speaking with my tongue. I can't remember, but I said, God, I believe you're real. I want to seek your pleasure. I'm going to practice the religion of this man because I like him actually and his friends. I dig his shoes. I dig his friends. I'm quoting from Oasis songs right now. But the guy in the car right now doesn't know what to make of this conversation, but that's it. So I want to finish the story. I'm trying to wrap it up so I can also have a few words with my friend here before we arrive at the place. I picked up one of the local traders. He works in one of the shops. He's a pretty cool guy. What's your name?
Shane.
Shane. Shane's in the car. He's being subjected to this story. So anyhow, so I made that prayer to God. I said, God, I believe in you. I want to seek you out with. I'm gonna do it by practicing the religion of this man because I dig his friends and I dig his shoes. That's just a quote from Magic Pie, Oasis song. And I'm gonna practice this religion that he practices, the religion of Islam. I don't know anything about what it means to be a Muslim. Or the prophet of the religion, anything about it. I just like him, and I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it on, see how it fits, and if it's a nice fit, I'm gonna believe that you, because I'm willing to believe you're in control of all things and know the secrets of my heart, are showing me I made the right choice. And so, having done that, we'll just make it quick. I won't go on about it. It was awesome, and it's been awesome. It's supernatural, amazing, and there's no denying. So that's why here I am now, 23 years later, is it? No, 21 years later after I made that decision. Still with a hope to live by that prescription, that formula, that secret formula for success. And so, yes. Anyways, why did I want to tell you all about that? I'm not sure. I can't remember, but I do want to wrap up the beginning point that I started out with was as I was rushing to the car to quickly get to my store because I have a new salesperson starting for me today to help push our product. I reach into my pocket and I grab for my eye drops because my eyes are stinging and I'm tired. I'm really tired every day. I don't get a day off right now. And I only had a few hours of sleep last night because my wheels were turning, my ideas were spinning. So I grab a bottle and I douse my eyes, both eyes, only to realize after it was too late. I had done both eyes. There's nose spray. it's not eye drop. But you know, remarkably, actually, my eyes feel quite fresh from the nose spray. After that had dried, I put the eye drops in too, so that apparently there doesn't seem to be anything in the nose spray that will hurt my eyes. I don't know yet, we'll find out if I go blind by the end of the day or not. Wish us luck. Yeah, we got a new salesperson starting today, helping us to push this product because I have to stay behind my machine cutting, creating product, creating product, trying to get ahead. It's an expensive overhead every day, trying to cover this rent and to produce enough product to keep the overhead covered. People like the product, they want to buy it. I only have a few examples of things that people can walk out the door with right now, because I'm taking bespoke, personalized orders, and I have to deliver those. I have to allot the right amount of time to deliver the personalized orders, as well as to produce product for people to buy on demand from the shop. And I could do all this much easier if I had the proper resources, which I had not had. As I was mentioning to you earlier, I never have had working capital to fall back on. If I do not sell, that's it, I'm done. I have to go home. I can't pay my rent at the store, and I'm finished. I cannot suffer a week's worth of no sales, because I do not have money to fall back on. So I've been getting by in a year and a half like this. I don't have credits to go to the bank and get a loan. I don't have reserved money to fall back on. So that's why I'm telling you all about this. I'm trying to spur you, to inspire you to give us some help. We have our campaign, GoFundMe, that I've launched a campaign to get some working capital so we can pay wages to employees who will feed their families, create jobs. We have a wonderful product. Help us, please. I also today shared this little story of the red hen who goes around to the other fat and lazy farm animals and says, "Who will help me? Who will help me with this grain?" And the all says, "Oh no, I can't. I'm too fat. My feet are flat," says the duck. The other one says something else. They all have their excuses why they can't help. But when the grain has been turned into this beautiful, tasty loaf of bread, and the redhead goes back to them and says, "Who will help me eat this bread?" They says, "Oh, I will. Yes, I will. I'll help you." And the redhead says, No, you're too fat. And your feet are flat. And I don't remember what your other problem was, but I will eat the grain bread on myself, on my own. Because the redhead said before, "Who will help me? Who will help me?" They said, "It's not me. I can't for this reason." The redhead says, "Fine, I'll do it myself." And that's what I have been doing for over a year and a half now. Everything pretty much by myself. So I need some help, huh? Who's gonna give it? I'll share my bread with you. It's a golden loaf. Bye.